So welcome to our series finale, behind the scenes featurette. I am Dan Gonzalez. I'm the executive. What am I? I'm series creator.
Director. Boom operator.
I've done a lot. Yeah.
Sony Productions owner.
So can you guys introduce yourselves, since I kind of fucked up my way of doing it? So.
All right. I'm Alan Andrews. I'll be playing Jake in Is This It?
I'm Joanne Maye. I'll be playing Andrea.
I'm James McCray. I play the character of James.
So why did you guys say we'll be playing? Didn't you guys already play it, considering it's a series
Did I
finale?
say we'll be playing?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a force of habit.
Maybe. Yeah, it's been a while.
I just said I'm Joanne Maye and Andrea. I think you said, and I'll be playing in Is This It?
I might be. I don't know.
Whatever.
So,
Can you guys, I guess we should probably talk about, the finale itself. Anybody want to talk about it, kind of the basic plot of it and whatnot?
well, Andrea, James, and Willard try to get Michelle and Jake back together, and there's a lot of action and craziness and some other things I can't share with you just yet. So, but it's going to be
Unless they've seen it. I don't know if they've seen it or not yet. Yeah.
Well, maybe. It's going to be awesome to watch, but if you've already watched it, well, then you know how awesome it was or is. So.
Definitely action-packed. I'll have to go with there. It's we needed some more stage combat experience for that one. We weren't ready for it, but still fun to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, James, the character, shows his friendship with his buddy Jake. Goes through everything just to get that relationship together with Michelle.
How'd you guys feel when you guys got that script? I mean, that script is a little bit larger than ones that we've traditionally done. Most of the scripts are 2 pages long or 3 pages.
Mm-hmm.
And this was, I think, like 9 or 10. So.
There's a lot of different relationships that are created. There's a lot of new sides to certain characters, sides that you may not have seen before, such as Andrea. And I know you also see a softer side of Michelle as well, which you just see her as being fun and bubbly, but she's actually somewhat angry and a little more sullen during her scene with Jake. So that's a little different too. But it's very interesting to see that, how we were able to change it and see the different sides to every character.
Right, and there's a lot of variation, a lot of emotions going everywhere, and all across the board. There's a point where Jake's friends will rally for him, and he'll see that he does have the support of James and his neighbors and a few more people that he might not have expected. So, a lot of fun there.
Can you guys talk about how, I mean, at least from my perspective as the writer, I've noticed a ginormous change in the characters over 3 seasons worth. Can you guys talk about, how it's changed for you guys as actors being in those roles? Because it's been such a quick 3 seasons for us. I mean, it's been 1, 2, 3. So you kind of had to grow with those characters really quick.
Well, I'd like to think that Jake has evolved over the 3 seasons. Of course, he'll start out with just having things happening to him. He's not really in control of his environment. And then by the time we get to the finale, he's going to have to make decisions. He's going to have to commit to one or the other. And I feel like he's more confident, and he's less of a bystander in all this.
I think he starts out as a caveman, and then at the end he's less of a caveman.
Oh, he's definitely a caveman. He's only concerned with the sex that's happening to him. Otherwise, it's
Complete manhood.
Was it really even sex? I mean, it was sex, but it wasn't really predicated as such. I mean, it was just, you're being a man and you're going off on dates, and if those dates happen to end in
Doing what a
sex,
man does. Exactly.
You're telling me women don't do this?
I'm not saying women don't do this.
You said
I never denied it. I just said men do it. That's what men do.
Men get away with
I didn't say anything about females, so.
Women get a special name for doing things like that.
They do. We have a couple of them in this, in this, a couple episodes, few episodes.
Quite a few, yeah. Well, I was gonna say your character changed quite a bit.
I guess he changed.
I mean, he still didn't end up with any women,
Yeah, he
but
didn't get any women.
No.
That's
No.
James the character. James the person and the actor, yeah. He's
So-
a writer.
so you have women?
Not, you can't say it like that. That kind of makes it sound bad. I'm not saying I
I'm
have
not saying-
a bunch of women, but I know a couple of women if that's what you want to say. I'm not a loner like James the character, who's concerned about his friend relationship other than his own.
well, in that respect, Jake seems kind of selfish. I mean, James actually cares about Jake's well-being enough to
He
go
does.
through all this trouble. And Jake's just like, oh, cool, thanks,
Yeah.
man.
And then
Well, is he
Jake's the
really
one.
like that, though?
No, but Jake's the one getting laid, and James has done all this work. So I great friendship. I mean,
Maybe
at
it's a
least-
vicarious thing.
James
James just wants it to happen for Jake.
Well, here's the thing, though. I feel like, from the beginning, James wouldn't have pushed him into it to begin with. So when
Yeah, that's
he,
true.
when he pushed him into it, I think that was trying to get him out of it. All this drama had ensued over several seasons, and then he comes back and it's like, okay, I might have screwed up all this. He really likes this girl,
He
and
takes it. It's his responsibility to get me back out of the trouble.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think James realized everything that was going to happen when he mentioned online dating. He just thought it was going to be fun for a little while, and then as each episode continues in each season, you see how everything has just changed so dramatically.
Well, speaking of dramatic, your character kind of changed that dynamic. It just used to be random dates, and then you came in and kind of added additional drama to it.
I did, and in the season finale especially, I changed a lot. You can see my family ties and my family bond with Michelle, even though I've slept with Jake and I did some really bad things to her. I still show my love for her and stand up for her. I'm very supportive, and
Why is that?
why is that?
I mean,
But I think-
I probably could figure it out by writing.
Well,
but-
we're sisters. Sisters have a special bond, and I think that shows a lot at the season.
And you want to see her
Series
be
finale.
happy, right?
I do want to see her happy,
And
yes.
maybe you want to see Jake happy.
No, I don't think I want to see Jake
You
happy.
don't want to see Jake happy?
I don't know, because Jake and I don't really have a relationship after that. I mean, there's nothing that's been really established, so I don't know how I would feel.
But you're there for.
I'm there
Jake
for
and
her,
Michelle.
but I'm there for her. And I did help, but I wasn't necessarily happy about it. You know what I mean? But I knew that I could get my sister to wherever I wanted. Does that make sense? I can manipulate her to do what I wanted her to do.
Right, right.
So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Jake at this point.
So you're
Because I'm getting married. I'm marrying Dan very shortly.
Okay, I wrote that into one episode, and I've never been able to live it down.
Well, can't get rid of Dan. It's so important to me. Not really.
We never did it. We never really did introduce your husband into it.
No, I think it's better left unsaid. Because then I think the audience can formulate what they want.
Well, yeah, because
About
now they know it was about me. Thank you, appreciate that.
Well,
Yeah.
you wrote it one night, as you said.
Yeah.
What do you
Drunk.
drink? Little drink. Little
I was
drink.
drinking. I'll admit.
So
yeah.
maybe you put your name in as a filler and then just never changed it,
Could be,
and
yeah.
then you sent out all the scripts and then it just stuck.
That's
So
true.
That's how we are.
Well, it's true because we were on set, and I had no idea that I was asking you why you had said that.
She's like,
And-
because you have Dan to go home to. I'm like, ah, Dan, really? That's why I have to go home
Apparently,
to.
this Dan person is the most boring fiance ever.
Can't, no good sex, no good anything, apparently.
Horrible.
But you come back to him every single time.
I do.
So boring, in fact,
Money.
that you were driven to a guy like Jake for your second.
Who's what, a nymphomaniac? I mean, he's very... Well, speaking of which, speaking of, the driven component, let's talk about the sex scenes, which weren't very much in Season 3. I mean, Season 3, there wasn't really... I don't think there is. You're huffing.
Right. Spend most of my time getting
Yeah,
high.
but in Seasons 1 and 2, you really were. I mean, it was like every week. It was like every episode you were just kind of like, all right.
Hadn't he had time to put on pants or anything, or eat, or
Or sleep, or...
Does he have a job? We don't know. Apparently,
I
it's
don't think
this.
I don't.
Has it ever been established what it is?
I don't think so. I was thinking about that yesterday, and it has not been established that he does anything. other than
He's treading
sleep
the
around.
line very dangerously close to man whore at this point.
Maybe, I mean,
Craigslist, or maybe he sells things on Craigslist.
Yeah.
or eBay,
eBay.
you know.
Yeah, it could be any number of
Obviously,
things.
works out of the home in his boxer shorts and his wife beater.
But
That's
I
true.
think like most shows, you bring the audience in with sex, and because sex sells. But then as the seasons evolve and each episode evolves, we evolve from sex and nudity and more sex to what's actually going on with characters and how they change and how their relationships are formed and how those evolve as well.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's how I
That's how I wrote
Because
it.
if you
Yeah.
watch
Yeah.
any series, that's always how it happens. There's always so much sex in the first season and second season,
And-
and then it kind of
Yeah.
for some reason goes off the plateau.
Well, that was the thing when I was writing it, was that for the first season I wanted that comedy in there because
Mhm.
it's the only way I felt that people were going to get driven into watching it.
Mhm.
But once I got in there, I wanted to add a lot more drama because I felt that without drama, why are they watching? You know what I mean? Why are they interested in these characters? How many dates can he honestly go on? Before he becomes,
Have they met him?
And it's funny, the structure of the show almost follows one of Jake's dates. We rush to the sex and then we'll get to know each other afterwards,
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much how it works if you look at the first season. After a point, he finally, we actually see one of those dates through and through because he sleeps with one of those dates, and during that episode, you actually get to know this other character, where you don't normally get to see that.
How many dates did you go on? There was a dog, too.
There was a dog. I missed that little dog. Let's see, there were 3 other awkward dates. You and Michelle. Were you a date? Did we even go to the
Well, we had coffee, and I asked you what you were into.
Right.
And
Then there was that scene where,
then you were like, football, politics.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I said, that's not what I mean.
And after Molly, Vampire Girl, and let's see, Tennis Girl,
Nicole,
was strangely abusive. I think
Sam, even though you and Sam are
it was
established.
it was implied that
season
we
3,
right. So
yeah.
that's, I think we're up to 9.
I think that's as far as, because season 2 you guys were just,
Season 2, not so much.
I mean, it's most of the drama between the 2 of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. So, yeah, that's not bad.
Interesting.
9 doesn't sound too
9?
ridiculous when we count it out.
James was like, just share. give me half of one or one.
I'm just enjoying you guys' conversation.
Well,
We're talking about the women, though. I think you just want one.
Yeah.